Last but not least is Jeff, a tech consultant at a BPO firm. His problem? Too many calls, not enough agents. The solution? Jeff now uses Voice API to deliver better customer service and meet service level agreement. And just like that, your business is built better. With Globe My Business API solutions, your business operations are instantly made more efficient and seamless. What a great way to reinvent your success! Have you figured out which digital solutions work best for your business? Visit the Globe My Business website to know more about our suite of API solutions. Stay tuned for more Globe My Business ICT solutions. I'm Sean, and this is Solutions from Sean.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. This is Mark Abalos, Globe Segment Head for Education. And today we are very happy to have a guest that will talk about a technology that we can use for our schools. But before that, please make sure that you have registered. Sa mga teachers po natin who would like to get certificates right after this webinar, please make sure that you registered in the webinar. And please make sure also that you follow Globe My Business for updates regarding our products, regarding our services for the schools around the Philippines. Okay, so also in this webinar, we will be choosing 3 lucky winners of GCash credits, courtesy of Globe as well, and of course 20 winners of Eskwela online training for teachers. So ito po yung self-paced course natin that can help you improve your online learning and teaching skills. So our topic for today is Amber and SMS API. And if you've seen the video earlier, that's one of the things that we could talk about later on. But of course, I'd like our guest to talk more about it later on. And let me just introduce the person first. So our guest for today is has credible experiences in IT and telco industries. He is from Globe Labs and has been able to push for digital transformation through innovation. He has been active in creating solutions to heighten efficiency, workforce mobilization, and enhance communication, enabling businesses to be a step closer to digital transformation. So let's welcome Mr. Diego Garcia from Globe Labs.
Thank you, Mark. Good morning, everyone. It's
Hi,
my
Diego.
pleasure to be here.
Good
Hello.
morning. Kamusta? Kamusta?
I'm doing all right. Still
So,
getting used to the work from home setup, even though it's been a year.
I know it's kind of challenging, no? So, in the previous months, we've been working together, enabling schools for digital transformation, and I'm very happy to have you in this particular episode of Eskwela. So, for those who are tuned in, please make sure that you listen to Diego's talk later. But before that, let's talk more about Diego muna. Diego, sorry, since you mentioned about the pandemic, is there a skill that you discovered?
Well, I dabbled a little bit in making things with my hands out of wood. So I even built a pair of speakers. So
wow,
that's something to pass the time.
Yeah. But because of the long hours nga, no, we really need to make sure na meron tayong pinagkakaablan at least. And is there something like a realization that you had while, of course, doing all these wood crafts?
Well, I guess with the pandemic, one good realization is that, it's good to focus on the people and spend time with the people that are actually important in your life. I know everyone misses spending a lot of time with their friends and all, but you can pinpoint the key people in your life that you really want to spend it with and just focus your efforts with that.
Thank you, Diego. And thank you also, because our teachers would need that. Our teachers would have all the, the stressors from, of course, crafting the lessons online. Our school administrators too would have also problems. And these are some of the things that they can think about in the middle probably of the day, and talk about stress and how to battle these kinds of stresses. So siguro let's start now with your talk on the technologies that we want to introduce to our administrators and teachers, because right now if we want to communicate to our students, of course there are several platforms, but based on your talk, and since I've seen the slides beforehand, I'm kind of curious about this particular technology that you will share with us. So take it away, Diego, and talk about more of DSG, your group, your digital solutions group, and the solutions that we can provide to our schools.
Thank you, Mark. Yeah, so just jumping into my presentation, it's my pleasure to sort of talk a little bit about what Globe Labs can do for the educational sector. You may be asking, what is Globe Labs? So just to briefly jump into that, to get better context on what we're going to be talking about. Globe Labs essentially provides solutions and the solutions built off of telco-powered APIs for businesses. What does that mean? We grant businesses the ability to leverage our telco infrastructure and our telco capabilities, the core telco capabilities of communication, SMS, voice, even data. Those are all important factors in any industry. And I think I'm just going to jump a little bit into how these technologies can be used in the educational sector. So as I mentioned earlier, I'll be focusing on just a few of our core capabilities, although Mark did mention SMS earlier. So let's start with that one. So SMS, what is SMS? Text messaging. It's still very important today, even in this digital age with internet and mobile messaging, Facebook and all that, because of the fact that it is everywhere. You don't need internet connectivity to receive or send texts. And so this is a very strong tool to use when you need to reach large number of people and get the message to them in a timely manner. So just some examples of how you could creatively use SMS. I don't want to jump into our solutions just yet. I want to give you some examples of how SMS can be used in a creative manner. So one is you could use it to send lesson plans. So let students know what will be taught in the upcoming classes so that they can read in advance, or you can use it to send homework or additional notes. As you can see, when we do send SMS through our platform, we will be branding the text with your school's name or whatever authorized name it will be. It doesn't have to be, one by one a text sent from the teacher out to the students. You could send a singular text to thousands of people all at once. Another, I guess, more technical use case we could look at is for simple attendance checking. In this use case, you can see in the screenshot on the right, I used my last name here as the example. So a student could just simply text into a certain number with their name, stating that they're present for this class and what the class is. And your system can then automatically record the attendance and notify the student, letting them know. This can also be done for staff as well, in order to clock in or clock out of their hours. And last SMS use case I just sort of want to touch up a little bit on is for testing. So testing for sure has changed since the pandemic started, but one thing you can do to still send questions and even pop questions out to your students is through SMS, and just have the students then reply to that with their answer. This way you consolidate all the answers in one place. You're able to, in a timely manner, set deadlines for the entire test. You can set your students to say, okay, I need all the answers done in 1 hour. So, and it can be interactive. So if you want to have the platform even correct students, so if a student were to reply with the wrong answer, you could even have the platform, message back saying, "Are you sure? Would you like to rethink this?" Or you could message it back with the correct answer, just to be a little bit more hardworking, so that the student is still learning even if they get the answer wrong. Jumping into the next capability that I'd like to talk about, it's still in the core function of communication, and this is for voice calls. So why voice calls? In a way, the uses can be quite similar to SMS, but with voice, it's a little bit more immediate. The person needs to be on the line with you, answering or pressing numbers. So one use case we could do here is even for your staff or for your students to do regular health checks. This is actually something we've been trying to push since the pandemic started. And it's essentially utilizing our interactive voice system to send out thousands of calls at once and get the feedback instantaneously, so that you can then know whether your staff or your students or anyone you send the voice call to may be feeling symptoms of COVID, or if they're feeling well enough to go to the classes. So this is a very new use case that we're excited about, and we think there's strong potential to do good. Next is, like I said, similar to SMS. It can also be done for surprise quizzes. In this example, it becomes there's a little bit more of a pressure on the student because they're on the line. They can't use their phone to search for the answer or text their friends. They need to immediately, press 1 for, in this question that I put up here, which of these shapes has 5 sides? Press 1 for a pentagon, press 2 for a square, or press 3 for a hexagon. So if they press 1, then they'll be notified, okay, you got the right answer, and can go on to the next question, all within the same call. So it becomes a bit hardworking, utilizing our IVR technology to keep the call going. For more qualitative answers, it can actually record the voice of the student talking, so that you as the teacher can then go back later, review it, and grade based on the recorded answer of the student. So this can be done for extemporaneous speeches as well, for example. The third technology I'd like to very briefly discuss is load. So I'm sure everyone knows what load is. It's what you use to get your data SKUs, your prepaid or your SMS or call SKUs. But why is it important? It's important to ensure that not just the students, but even the staff are capable of being connected still to the learning platforms, being connected to the students, being connected to the school. So it's it's a powerful, it has powerful use in terms of sending load or data SKUs to thousands of people or hundreds of people all at once, to ensure that they remain online, remain in communication with the school, remain in communication with the students in order to do their jobs. So as I mentioned here, it's for keeping the staff online by providing data SKUs. And you can send SKUs to thousands of accounts with the click of a button. You can customize the SKU to your liking, whether you need it to be for data, for SMS, for calls, or a mix of all three. And lastly, I'd like to briefly talk about sponsored access. So sponsored access, I think, was also highlighted a bit in the solution video. playing earlier. But I guess how do you understand what sponsored access is? So if you've used free Facebook, for example, that little toggle in the top where if you've turned that on, you're not being charged for your data usage while you're on Facebook. We can enable that for your learning platforms. So why is this important? We want to ensure that your students always have access and don't have an excuse not to attend the learning sessions. And so we're just taking down another one of those barriers, which is, connectivity or even the cost of data. So by, by taking away that cost of data, they don't have to worry about their data usage while accessing these learning tools. So that's basically it. Just wanted to jump through those 4 key functions of what we can do utilizing the telco infrastructure. Now, just to show you how easy it is to use, we actually have some solutions that make use of these APIs so that you don't have to develop your own platforms. So we have Amber, which is an SMS blasting tool. It actually stands for Automated Mobile Blaster. It's a web-based platform where you can just compose your SMS, input variables if needed, upload your target recipients, on a data sheet, and just click a button to send the text to all of those recipients all at once. So using the SMS use cases earlier, you can utilize this platform for doing that. On the voice side, we have another solution called IVES. So I don't know if you can see quite clearly, but on the screen of the computer, there's like a bit of a map. What that is you're customizing that entire call flow. So using the examples earlier, you could put the question. If they press 1 for a certain answer, you could have the call flow go to a different route than the second one. So that's all done with a drag and drop interface. Very simple, very easy to use, and such a powerful platform for reaching thousands of people all at once and customizing the call flow to their liking. And the last solution I'd like to just briefly go over is Load Up. So using the load examples earlier, where you need to keep the staff or the students connected by sending data SKUs or SMS SKUs. This platform essentially allows you to send load or SKUs to thousands of accounts all at once, again, with just a click of a button, similar to how the previous platforms work. You just have to input who's going to be receiving it and what they're going to receive, and then just schedule the send out of the load. So that's it. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this brief talk on how Globe Labs can support the educational sector. We're very excited to be working on some of these projects.
Thank you, Diego.
Thanks, Mark.
Ang dami pala, no? So I
Yeah.
have a couple of questions here.
Sure.
That we got from our audience. So the first one, let's talk about the bulk SMS sending. So is there a security? Are we gonna encounter some security problems? Say for example, if we send like bulk of text messages, wala bang mga spam messages na pwedeng pumasok din sa mga numbers namin once na nasendan ako ng bulk text message na to? Because I believe
sorry.
I believe we have several client schools already in the Philippines doing this. So
yes, we do. And aside from schools, we have a number of enterprise clients as well. So this platform is used from the smallest SMEs all the way up to the biggest enterprises. In terms of the spam messages or so, that's not being sent through our platform. Our platform allows you to customize who you're sending it to, but you have to input who you're sending it to. I can't just say, okay, send it to all Diegos in the world or in the Philippines. I need to have the mobile numbers that I want to send it to.
Yun nga, kasi I think our schools talaga are very particular when it comes to this kind of technology. Kasi syempre, we have students, parents who will be receiving, of course, faculty members, and we do not want to compromise naman the security of these people. So, another question, is it difficult to install this? Is it user friendly? Is it like, the usual text message that we do through our mobile phones? Paano ba siya? Like,
Yeah, so actually it's very easy to use. There's no installation necessary. It's a web-based platform. So what that means is all you need to do is visit the website and log into your account if you want to send those messages. So it's very easy to use. You can log in using your phone if you need to, or any computer. Just visit amber.ph.
Ayan. So for all our teachers there who are interested, or the schools that are interested in getting this particular solution from Globe, please do not hesitate to contact Globe My Business or visit amber.ph. But another question here. So Diego, you mentioned about the different features. Eto dito tayo sa load up, because for load up, you mentioned about bulk sending of load, di ba? So
Yeah.
paano to? I mean, like, if we say we have 10,000 simultaneously, ba 10,000 individuals will get the load that they need?
Yeah, so just for example, if you had 10,000 teachers and staff that you need to keep online or ensure that they have the means to communicate with the school and the students, instead of, the usual ways are you could have them do it themselves and then reimburse it, or you could then provide them with call cards that they manually have to load. With our platform, all you need to do is just input their mobile number, input what SKU they're going to receive, schedule when you're going to send it out. And so you could have that list of all the thousands, you could say 10,000, 100,000 numbers that are to receive the SKU. And at the time of that schedule, they will receive it. So they don't, as the teacher or the staff, they don't actually need to send a text, or they don't need to go out and purchase anything on their own. They would receive the SKU from the school doing the disbursement.
Yeah, so that's very interesting, no? Kasi at this point, parang no one wants to go out, and even the parents are very much afraid to go out, and they just do the essentials lang. So I think bulk sending of load is very important in terms of making sure the safety of our kids, of our teachers, of our parents, and the different stakeholders of schools. Okay, another question from our teacher here. She said, "Sir, mahal ba?" Because of course the cost is something that we need to discuss, no? I mean, like,
Yeah.
when we're talking about all these kinds of solutions, there's an impression na expensive siya, diba? So parang we want to make sure also that our teachers in our schools, our students, our administrators would have that kind of parang feeling of security and safety na I'm spending something for something na essential, pero hindi naman siya expensive, no? So can you like tell us na ano ba tong paano natin sasagutin tong question ni ma'am? Kasi ideally, if I were to discuss this to the teacher, of course I would say it's affordable. But can you expound on the affordability of this particular solution?
Yeah, so for Amber, for example, we have a number of different plans, all ranging from as low as 599 pesos a month all the way up to, in the hundreds of thousands. And it all depends on your unique need as a user of this platform. You may need just to send, a few hundred SMS or a few thousand SMS every month, or you may need to send millions. And that's why we have these different plans. And I encourage you to please reach out to Globe My Business if you want to know more about the pricing. You'll be able to learn a lot more about that from the account managers handling your schools.
Okay, sige. Um, I think those are like the most common. Diego, there's also one thing that I'd like to ask now. In the process also of putting all these solutions together, say for example, in an ideal school setting, boys, you mentioned about Amber, you mentioned about Load Up. Parang, how do you think all these solutions will benefit or help the school ecosystem in general or very specifically? Like, because ngayon, e-learning lahat online yung transactions, lahat is done, distance learning is done. And of course, hindi naman lahat ng mga tao ay aware dito. So, mahirap ba siya? Paano ba to in-integrate? Can you help us?
So these platforms really just leverage on the core use of communication, and communication is the key term here. Communication through SMS or communication through voice. And so I think that still is an important tool to leverage, especially since not all the students may have stable internet connectivity, or they may not be able to have access to a computer. So with these core capabilities, you're able to reach more people reliably without any hiccups. And the price is, as brought up earlier, it's very affordable. Texts are very cheap. You'll be able to see that through when you reach out to Globe My Business.
Thank you, Diego, for joining us again today. So maraming salamat for helping us also in making, of course, our schools understand about these solutions. No? Kasi nga, di ba, parang dahil nga nasa crisis tayo in terms of, going out, we have some security threats as well. All these things can be done naman pala online. And mas madali for our schools to actually work on their solutions and make sure that their schools are safe and the students are safe as well. So yun, thank you so much, Diego, for joining us today. So, and I think at this point, we can flash already the winners of our GCash credits and our winners for the Eskwela online training. So please, guys, make sure that you register also so that you'll get your e-certificate. So for our 500 GCash winners, we have Stephen Bascos of Capiz State University, Regina Rosedor of E-Business Education Research, and Amor Baguio Cordova Central School. So meron kayong 500 GCash credits. Just email me at mpabalas2@globe.com.ph to claim your prize. Also, we have the winners also of our Eskwela online training courses. So we have 20 winners of all these of this a slot for this particular training course. And normally guys, what we do is to contact also our like those who signed up for this particular training. So thank you so much. Again, Diego, maraming salamat sa pagsama sa amin. Is there any message that you want to say to our teachers?
Just wanted to say thank you for all your work educating the country. Stay safe, please.
Thank you, Diego. Okay, so maraming salamat again to all our viewers, and please make sure that you sign up for your e-certificate, and we'll see you again next month for another episode of Eskwela. So see you and stay safe.